talking over the break, and we lost contact, and it hurt both of us because high school took us completely different ways, completely different routes. She was actually me and her were in the process of becoming official.
Okay.
And back in 2023, but then September 29th happened, and when I thought she was still with us, I had to do some research in the area, and I found out the worst way possible that she passed away. I was talking to the reason why I do what I do, which is go around and help the homeless, is because my high school crush was fatally shot and killed back in 2023. And that it put me in a very dark state of mind. I didn't want to be bothered. I didn't want anybody talking to me. I was talking to the reason why I do what I do, which is go around and help the homeless, is because my high school crush was fatally shot and killed back in 2023. And that it put me in a very dark state of mind. I didn't want to be bothered. I didn't want anybody talking to me. But then it kind of hit me, why don't I do something positive instead of taking my anger out on everybody? So I bought this suit, which was about $200. I will be doing some upgrades to it here very, very soon. And yeah, we just help the homeless, make sure they're okay, give them food, drinks, sometimes money, but nothing over $10. Drinks as in water, Gatorade, maybe soda sometimes. It just all really depends. Helping them out.
Okay. All right, well, let's start from the beginning. What's up, YouTube? Top Flight USA, back with another one. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good.
All right, what's your name, age, and where you from?
I am the Batman of North Carolina. I'm 23 years old, and I'm from Texas.
The Batman of North Carolina. Okay. I like your suit, man.
Thank you.
I just seen you walking down Capitol Boulevard, which is a main road here in Raleigh, a big strip. What was you doing?
I was, as of right now, I was just walking around passing water to the homeless. It's super duper hot out here. Summer's right around the corner, and they're gonna need all the help that they can get.
Right. And as we started the video, you gave a reason why you started doing this. You said a friend of yours, was it a girlfriend?
Yes, she was actually me and her were in the process of becoming official.
Okay.
And back in 2023, but then September 29th happened, and when I thought she was still with us, I had to do some research in the area, and I found out the worst way possible that she passed away, and I found out who did it and what happened to the person.
Wow. Can you describe the situation?
So me and her in 2020, I graduated in 2020 in Texas. Me and her had 8th period together, and I was a class clown back in high school, but my grades were always straight. So it's like you could never really look at me and be like, oh, he's failing my class. Oh, really? I was.
What high school did you go to?
Waco High School.
Okay, Waco, Texas. Okay.
But going back to her, Christmas came around my freshman year, and I asked her, I was like, hey, what are your favorite scents, smells? Like, what do you like? What's your favorite, like, scent? She said anything that's, like, fruitish or strawberry. So I was like, okay, cool. So I went to Houston, and I went to go to Bath & Body Works. I spent about $200, maybe $300. But I didn't care. I still don't care. She was worth it in my eyes.
Wow.
So when I gave her a present, she smiled, gave me a hug, blushed a little bit, and kissed me on the face. I got her phone number, her Instagram, and I don't think she had a Snap at the time, but I got the Snap and the phone number. So we eventually started talking over the break, and we lost contact, and it hurt both of us because high school took us completely different ways, completely different routes. So we stopped talking up until we graduated, and then she was when I was over here back in 2022 of Christmas, she called me, and it was so unexpected, and she was like, I want to start talking again. So me and her, we started talking again, and it led from 2022 coming into 2023, and then I kept sending her text messages. Like, we would send text messages back to back, like, hey, I love you, be safe today, don't do anything stupid. Well, she would tell me not to do anything stupid.
Okay.
But yeah, we would continue texting each other until eventually I would text her and she would stop replying. She wouldn't even look at the message. So I knew something was off because she would always respond like that.
Wow.
So this was in 2024, how I found out. I didn't find out about her death until 2024. So 2024 came around, and I was just, I didn't know what to think. I kept texting her. I was in a panic frenzy because I didn't know what happened to her. So I started doing research in Waco, Texas, homicides, suicides, killings, drive-bys, anything.
Okay.
Because Texas it's a wild place to be in. So me looking up all those places, all those things, her name popped up in a feed. And so when I tapped the report, it said that she was shot 19 times.
Wow.
She was still clinging on to life, but when they got her to the emergency room and started doing surgery on her, she was pronounced dead.
Is it a report I can find of her?
Yes, it is.
What is her name?
Her name is Maria Guerrero.
Out of Waco, Texas.
Waco, Texas.
Wow. And if I look that up, it should pop right up.
It should pop right up.
Been sentenced to prison for murdering a woman he accused of infidelity. Gustavo Rojas was given 45 years. He pleaded guilty to murder in the death of Maria Guerrero last year. He also pleaded guilty to aggravated assault for shooting another man in the same incident. The shooting was reported on Avondale Street back in September of 2023.
Okay. Wow. And when you got that information, what was the first thoughts that went through your mind?
Well, I didn't want to believe it. I couldn't believe it. It was really, really hard for me to believe. I kept texting her and I was like, there's no way. I just got through talking to you like not even a week ago. There's no way. I was just like, I didn't want to be bothered. I didn't want anybody talking to me. My parents, I was cussing them out, but like I don't cuss my parents out. I don't believe in disrespecting your elders at all. But since it was my first time dealing with a loss and actually taking it, like, I guess you could say being sad about it or depressed about it in a way, because she meant the world to me, and now I feel like I'm a Batman without his Catwoman.
Wow.
So I kept texting her. And then eventually that same night that I found out she passed away, I went into my room. I cut my TV off. My room was completely dark, and I got on both of my knees and I looked at God. I was like, Lord, I know that she's up there with you, but if you can just give me 5 more minutes with her, it would mean the world. So I said amen and I went to sleep. When I woke up, it was a dream. She was standing right in front of me, as clear as day as I could see you.
Wow.
So she smiled at me and she grabbed me by my hand and she led me into the courtyard. We were in our high school. She led me in our courtyard, or in the courtyard, and we sat down, we had a conversation. Now, I don't know what was being spoke between us, but she held me by my hands, and the bell rung in the school building. So when I got up, I turned my back to her, and she put her hand on my shoulder and turned me around and gave me a hug. So I wrapped my arms around her and I squeezed a little bit, and she looked back up at me and she smiled, and then she slowly faded in my arms.
Wow.
And then I woke up out of my sleep, and I haven't cried since I was like maybe 10 or 9 years old. I'm 23. So for the simple fact that I was finna get ready to bawl my eyes out is saying a lot. I didn't cry, but I was so close to doing it. I was like probably 2.5 seconds from doing it.
Wow. That's sad, man. It sounds like she was like your first official girlfriend. And dealing with her death sounded very unexpected. I'm sorry you had to go through that, and I hope you can find some peace into that situation. Have you had any counseling?
I've had my godfather is actually a counselor.
Okay. How's that working for you?
He's talked to me about it. He was actually one of the first, because me knowing that he was a counselor, I was like, I better talk to him about it so that he could try to calm me down. And he did. He calmed me down. He told me that it's probably hard, but, and I hear that a lot. It's probably hard, but in my case, the way that I see it is I lost the girl that I loved twice. The first time is because we lost communication, and the second time is because of an incident that I could not prevent. Even though I still feel like like back in high school, if I was to hold on to her and never let her go, none of this would have never happened to begin with.
Wow. So you're blaming yourself almost. Yeah, man. You shouldn't do that, because, I mean, it's almost like God don't make any mistakes. And I'm pretty sure you understand that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, man, this is an unfortunate situation. And you should spread that story, man. You should talk about that more often, I would say. And I'm glad to have you on my platform. And thank you for sharing that story, brother.
Thank you for having me.
That's very important. I think people need to hear that. I can only imagine how her parents feel, you know, losing a daughter to gun violence.
Her mother knows of me, but her father not so much, just because I used to stay up on the phone with her all night, every night, and her mom would always hear my voice, and she would speak Spanish, saying, who's that boy on the phone? And she would laugh and giggle and be like, oh, it's nobody, but she just keeping me a secret from everybody.
Wow.
But eventually she told her mother, she was like, oh, it's a guy that I'm talking to.
Right. Have you, do you feel like the mourning process is over now?
Yeah, it is. I don't really mourn about her anymore. I do constantly think about her, but the mourning it's over with for me. I don't really mourn like I was at first.
Right. Okay. You got some fans over there. The people know.
I'm being interviewed. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Batman, of course, you got the suit on, and you got some people on the street that sent some cars shouting you out. What is your mission, or what is the motivation behind this, other than that story right there?
The motivation behind it is to make sure the unhoused get the help that they need. I notice just walking by them that I'm not saying that everybody should just stop and give somebody some money or something, but literally anything can help them out. Water, juice, all it takes is for you to ask them. $5, buy the person some lunch, something simple to get them through the day, which is what I'm constantly doing. Y'all, I mean, I'm not out here on the daily basis, but as long as that sun is up and there's no clouds hovering over raining, I will be out here and I will be doing this on a constant. I know that there's a lot of people that see me dressed in all black and they think that it's something negative, but I promise you I'm not. I have no negative tensions behind this whatsoever, and never will.
Okay. When you walk in buildings or facilities, do people look at you strange, or do they ask questions?
I've walked into some restaurants, so Taco Bell, McDonald's. I've walked into Food Lions plenty of times. when people see me, they smile. I've been stopped and asked, why do I do this? And my response to that is, it's because I made a promise. But they'll let me shop or get some food or something. They'll ask me, why do I have the mask on? And I want you to know something. It's not who I am underneath, but what I do that defines me.
Okay.
So
Break that down a little bit.
it's just, I can be anybody. I can be literally anybody. I could be you. I could be another homeless person for all you know. I can be literally anyone behind this mask.
You could be a millionaire.
I could be a millionaire. I know y'all see me walk around the streets, but I mean, who says that I don't have a Batmobile? Who says that I'm not driving it around town? It's just all it's all based off on, I guess you could say, doing something that should be done. We should be helping each other rather than treating each other like crap.
Right. I
And
agree.
the homeless here very soon, they could end up getting locked up within days, weeks, months. All it takes is for Trump or an officer. All it takes is for an officer or Trump to be like, hey, you see anybody on the streets, cuff them, get them locked up. And that shouldn't be a thing. They deserve housing and help, not cuffs.
Right. After high school, did you attend college?
Now, when I was in high school, I was a athlete. I played football, and I could have went D1, but I turned them down mainly because at the time, high school and then coming into college, I knew that college was going to be school and football times 20. So I was just like, no, because I can't put myself through that stress. So as of right now, I lift weights, I walk around, not dressed up. I also train in martial arts, so I do know martial arts as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I ask you to show me a few moves with the martial arts, you think you can do that?
Yeah, most definitely.
All right. Well, let's see what you got.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me put this down. So, whenever you're fighting, I see a lot of people put their hands up like this, but you don't necessarily want to do that. Me, if I'm fighting somebody, which will never really truly be the case unless the person is the one that started it.
Okay.
Here very soon, I'll have a body camera on too, for recording anything, especially people that I guess come up to me and want to hit me or something.
Right.
But whenever you're fighting, instead of going like this, just try to view the aggressor, see how they're holding their hands. If they're, I guess you could say, a hoodlum, if they're going like this, more than likely they're going to swing with this hand.
Okay.
If they have this hand back, they're more than likely going to swing with this hand. But it's based off just, I guess, staring down their stance. If I can tell which hand you're going to swing on, the fight's already over with.
Okay.
If you're finna ready to swing with this right hand, I grab this hand and throw you completely over my body, and you're done.
Wow. So you're saying if somebody swing just a straight shot.
They go like this, plant your foot down, and swing it. Like completely swing them over.
You're flipping them
Flip
clear
'em
over. Okay. What if they're standing back in a stance waiting for you to come forward?
So if you actually end up making that mistake, more than likely you're gonna get pinned on the ground. And if they have their leg on your stomach, you could try to wrap your arm around that leg. And I guess put them in a chokehold by grabbing their hand and this leg over the neck and
Okay.
squeezing until they tap out or until they they cry bloody murder.
Okay.
But I'm not really here to seek vengeance on anybody. I'm just here to help.
You will be defending yourself.
Yes, I will defend myself if absolutely necessary.
Okay.
And here soon I'll have a mounted camera on my chest somewhere.
Okay.
Whenever I upgrade the suit a little bit, it's still going to look the same, but it's going to look a tad bit different. And that camera is going to be like recording all the different reactions that I get and interactions that I get in person with people, whether that's shaking their hand, waving at them, or them wanting a hug or something.
Yeah.
Or even if they try to start something with me, if the cops need evidence, it's right here on my chest.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Do you have a social media site if anybody wanted to contact you?
Yes.
Do you have like a Cash App if anybody wanted to donate to your campaign?
Yes. So I have a Instagram. The Instagram is the Batman, or it's the Batman of North Carolina. But there's it's the _Batman _ NC. And right up under there's a link. It's a link tree, and that link goes to my wish list. And the wish list is for the homeless. So there's water bottles, tents, fruit snacks. I'm trying to think things to keep the unhoused warm and heated. And then there's a Cash App where you can send money directly to me. And all money will be going to the unhoused.
Okay, what's that Cash App?
The Cash App is the Batman of North Carolina, no underscores.
Okay, is that all capital, lowercase?
The only thing that's capital is the and the Batman.
Okay. All right, man. That's what's up, man. I definitely wanted to stop. I like your outfit. I like your suit. You definitely are an interesting person. I wouldn't call you a character. I would call you a person. I appreciate what you're doing. Me and you are kind of in a similar fields. I help the homeless also. I do interviews with them. I give out free food. I give them resources to where they can go shower, clean their clothes, even find like housing or food stamps, things like that. So I'm all about spreading awareness, spreading information, and just motivating people, to keep striving and keep hope alive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
All right, Batman of North Carolina, man, we appreciate you for doing the interview. God
Thank
bless
you for having me. God bless you too.
All right.
All right.